Well, 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 well. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. How are you folks doing today? Welcome. It's the Ronimo Streamisho for August the 19th of 2020. And it is my pleasure to be your host here today. My name is Slow Wolf, and we're going to go through a lot of different community news for the most part today. It's a bit of a calmer week. We don't have any immediate hype immediately happening. Just hints, tips, little wisps of sound and fog in the distance. But we do also have a lot of community news and some extra announcements that we need to get through, and some extra things that we've added to make our lives and your lives easier. So, let's go ahead and get this party started. Hello. It's me. It's me, and my glasses are now, just really dirty. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, so for today, let's go ahead and start off with that community news I spoke about earlier. And also, just dim that music down just a touch. So, community news. Things today on the list. Let's go ahead and start off with one of the bigger celebrations for this week. The Crates campaign that I've been trying to promote and push onto everybody, at least to a certain degree. Not just because I like Sonic Picnic a great deal, but also because I really enjoy the music of Awesomenauts, was successful. And as a result, we got 100 free copies. Sonic Picnic has a bunch of them. We've got another bunch of them. Point is, if you didn't get your chance to buy one of those albums, hey, we're going to have some for sale or available as prizes and stuff later on down the road. So that'll be really, really cool. In the meantime, those people that did actually order the vinyl, hey, you get it. So that's pretty sweet. If you do see Sonic Picnic on Twitter as @SonicPicnic, or wherever else you find them, like on Facebook, give them a shout out and give them a big old pat on the back, because they really stepped up to the plate on this one, in terms of their own projects. They made it happen for you guys. They really wanted to make it work, and they did. And it was super cool of them to do so. So yeah. Absolutely go talk to them, say hi to them, and, just give the Awesomenauts music a listen. If it's not just the Awesomenauts music you want to give a listen, hey, they also did everything for Blightbound. So if you've been playing a lot of Blightbound, and you've been kind of digging some of the music they've been putting in, it might be worth looking into that too. I'd like to go ahead and give out another shout out to the community here. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. I'm just going to dim it down a touch. As far as another shout-out goes, the Nutty Knots tournament has been going on and had their qualifiers last weekend. Congratulations to all the teams that participated and to the teams that actually got through the qualifiers without issue. All things considered, it was a very smooth weekend, and they're already going to their finals this weekend coming up. So, as a result, hey, the Nutty Knots tournament, go check it out. There's a Discord link for it and everything. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't invite everybody in the chat to it very quickly. Nutty Knots, invite people. Yes, copy that button. Go over to this, go over to here and slap it in. If you want to go ahead and join the Nutty Knots tournament, or at least check out what's going on in terms of their schedule, hey, there's the link for you. We're going to have something go up in the Awesomenauts carousel as well if you are interested. So go ahead and, take a look and see how people are doing in terms of their bracket. They have some pretty cool stuff going on there. So, yeah, the Nutty Knots tournament, that's happening this weekend for their finals, which is exciting. The Awesomenauts competitive scene has always been a fun time. And it's kind of where I existed before all of this happened. So, big ups to them. Very, very big ups to them. Next. Hey, that's not the only Awesomenauts contest that's going on. Rexic, if you're anywhere in the chat, Rexic's been holding an art contest for Awesomenauts as well. The theme for which is what happened to the Awesomenauts 8 years after the 8 years after what happened to in Awesomenauts. Interesting times. So, you guys can go ahead and check out that Discord link and see that stuff there. What's the stream name? Rumble? Mr. Grosser, if you could go ahead and just check the, type in the name there. The Nutty Knots tournament should have its own channel, I believe. But, yeah. So the next update for Blightbound, I'm getting to that, I promise. So the Rexic Art Contest is a really cool time. We've seen the kind of art that Rexic has commissioned in the past, and the kind of artwork that the community is capable of. I myself actually have a Clunk figurine that needs repairing, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be repairing it and then painting it myself. I've got a hobby where I build and paint miniatures of various kinds, including, stuff like this. So what I'm going to be doing actually is participating by making a miniature, and hopefully finding a good way to light it and show it to everybody else. So that's how I'm entering the tournament. If you feel like you want to enter yourself because you got an artistic bone in your body of any kind whatsoever and you want to at least give it a shot, or just because you want to draw some cute characters, go nuts. Alright, let's move along to the next bit of knots, the last bit of knots news for right now. Already 5 minutes in and made it through the majority of our news, so that's pretty sweet. Oh, by the way, raffles. I should probably actually get those started. If you win raffles today, you get Robo-Scoops, and if you win the last raffle, you get a Blightbound. That said, this next raffle will go ahead and count as a twofer, huh? How's that sound? That's what time it is. For raffle sake. We got it running. I forgot to hit the button. I just kind of went into my programming today. I'm sorry. So, the Knots leaderboard. Hey, you guys have been enjoying it for the last 4 or so months or so, even a little bit longer than that. It's been since May since we reset it. We're going to reset it again. If you've been playing Awesome Knots at all or whatever, if you have not, you should go check it out. It's a free-to-play game, so why not? The game itself is a fun MOBA, 2D, platformer, all that stuff. For those of you that have played it a lot, hey, you've been probably playing it for something close to, I don't know, 8 years. It's a good game, and its anniversary happened on the 12th, I believe, if I remember correctly, as far as Steam release goes. Now, the leaderboard itself needs to be reset. I want to reset those every season, so we're going to have a reset at the top end of September, although I don't know an exact date yet, and I will let you guys know when it's happening. Please enjoy your leaderboards for as long as they last. There will be a reset come September, and then from there on in, it should be every 3 months without issue. Yes, another reset. They should happen every 3 months, forcing people to, if they want to, climb the leaderboards, hey, maybe don't use your alts all the time. The leaderboard's going to reset. And sure, it might involve some chaos for a week or so, but I think that keeping the leaderboard fresh is a better way of doing things than keeping it stale. Can't we wait another month? Yeah, it's the top end of September. It will be in like another half month. It's fine. We need some balance, maybe. Hey, I'm not going to go ahead and dissuade you from saying stuff like that. In fact, I would agree with you, but the problem is that we're just not developing Awesome Knots right now. So we're not making a bunch of balance changes quite yet. That said, I am listening to the feedback and I am keeping notes of it. If there's ever a chance in the future where it's all like, hey, we need like one more patch, can we like slap this together? Hey, at least then I'll have a document ready to go. But I can't promise anything. In fact, if I wanted to be rude for a second, just to emphasize my point, I can't promise cuss all on that particular thing. So please do not have any expectations of there being any patches for Awesome Knots. That said, yeah, I agree with you. I'm with you folks on that one. But for right now, leaderboard reset will do. It'll help at least keep the game a bit more fresh for people, and that should help a bunch. We love Awesome Knots, that's all? Yeah, I know, me too. I get it. I'm right there with you. I love Awesome Knots too. Without Awesome Knots, I would not be here. So yeah, let's all agree. Awesome Knots is great. Awesome Knots needs leaderboard resets. That's happening top end of September. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about Wolfpack. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the music because the music it's not the correct music for this. For Wolfpack, so that's the next patch that's coming out. And if you guys have been taking a look at our roadmap, which you can find over Blightbound roadmap. If we go to Blightbound, a short roadmap, heck, if I just go to blightbound.com and you go to the thing that says roadmap, and you'll just paste that into the chat. Boop. The music was low enough that it wasn't even audible. Well, for me, it was completely throwing me off, so that's on me, I guess. But if you go to the roadmap, you guys will be able to see that the next update was definitely called Wolfpack. And hey, you know what? That's a good start. Wolfpack is going to be our second update, and we should be updating this roadmap sometime this week to put Kuliath Rising to the left, Wolfpack in the middle, and then a new update on the far right. For right now, Wolfpack is our next concern, and we're expecting that it should happen within at about the 2-week mark from now. So, like, bottom end of August, top end of September at the very latest, should be when Wolfpack comes out. Wolfpack has kind of a similar lineup that Kuliath Rising did, in that it's got 2 new characters. There's going to be a new level, there's going to be new enemies, a lot more of the stories are going to be completable, there'll be new items, some of those items are attached to the stories of some of the characters. And yeah, like it should be a relatively similar thing. Wolfpack, he gives me a face. Mega, it has nothing to do with me, okay? These people designed the characters long before I got here and the basic concepts behind them. I had no part in this story. This is an episode 8 moment where I'm Rey and Ronimo looking at me as Kylo Ren, and they're just like, you have no part in this story. So that's me. Right. Almost. I totally want to talk to you folks about that bit. So, in the general gist of things, like, let's talk about Wolfpack for a minute. So the two new characters are going to be a warrior again and an assassin. The new assassin will have a new ability that I can't really go into detail about right now. And the warrior will have his own passive and all that stuff. But the important thing about the two of them is that they have a completely interlinked story. And that story, I think, is going to be really important for the future of Blightbound as we keep going forward. I don't think that the characters really deserve anything less than a full little tale of their own. And if you dig into the lore behind a lot of the characters, there's actually quite a bit there. So for Wolfpack, the two characters are from the same clan, a wolf clan, and it came from a wooded area, where the Blight apparently doesn't want to go in. So, that leads to some new lore ideas. What happens in the woods? Why does the Blight not enter the woods? Maybe it's too early in the Blight, I don't know. But yeah, the two new characters, I can't really give names yet either, save for, I lied, I can definitely give names. The first character, the warrior, is going to be called Karog. The assassin is going to be called Wodania. And can we mute the music? You know, I did that before, and people are like, yeah, it was inaudible. Well, you know what? It's muted again. I aim, if nothing, to please. So we got Wodania and we got Karog, and those two there are come from the same clan. They have an interlinked story, and it starts actually with our own story written by our very own Roderick Livenhart. So, Sloth has a Karog skin? Absolutely not. Do wolves pack in the woods? Yes. Will you be playing some Skoldir today? No. Although I do want to have an Awesome Knots day. Like, that's something I still want to do. It's been difficult. But this isn't the me stream. This is a Ronimo stream. So let's talk about the Ronimo stream. When it comes to the two of them and their stories, they're important. And if you guys haven't checked it out, there is actually an entire, like, not book yet, but, like, we're getting to a point where we've got 2 fairly long chapters already put up online for this game and their background lore. Go ahead and check that out, why don't you? The first story talks about Kiani, and who's the blacksmith of the refuge, and her getting her hammer back and adventuring a little bit with Chorus. The second chapter looks at a group of 3 adventurers that we don't have in-game, and how they deal with the Humungor, from Kuliath Rising. See, they're tied. The third chapter is going to be about the Wolfpack. It's going to be about the clan of the Wolves, and it's going to be about Karog and Wodania. Those stories, I think, are going to be really, really cool. Roderick puts a lot of work into them, and they're, like, well written, I think. But yeah, it's something that I want to go ahead and show to you guys. So in a moment, I would like to actually read to you a small excerpt from the new story that's going to be coming on. It's going to be coming up. But before that, let's go ahead and answer some questions. Mega asks, I get that every character has its own lore and stories. However, the 2 biggest factors for me holding off until this moment is I'm not sure I have people to play with, and I prefer more unique characters, if I am being brutally honest. So, that's not a piece of feedback that we haven't got yet, actually. That's a lot of double negatives. We've gotten that piece of feedback before, and that people feel like the characters aren't immediately distinguishable from one another, specifically within their own classes. And that's a fair point. I agree that the silhouettes are something that tend to kind of constrain them a little bit. But it does have its pluses, and we have been working to kind of deal with the fact that they don't look too different all the time. If you look at Azun, his idle animation now is different. The way that they, in future characters will continue to have things like that as they go along. So that'll help, as well as having more integrated stories as time goes on. The first few characters that came out had very simple stories with not a whole lot of complexity to them. And as people have noticed, people have had to start writing guides on how to unlock Nilba's Flan. And that's actually really cool for us. That's a feeling that we really enjoyed having here at Ronimo. We thought it was super neat that people actually had trouble unlocking some of the people because it's like, oh, it's story based. And it's like, yeah, You kind of have to, like, follow the story a little bit. So that helps. And that's something that we kind of enjoyed. We're hoping that the next couple of characters are going to be similar in some respects, in that Karog and Rodania actually have more of a story that works together as well. And that from unlocking the new level that's going to be happening, which is going to be the second dungeon level. So, hey, you guys remember Laser Town? It's going to be Laser Town Part 2. I'm not sure if there's lasers in it, but, it's the second level of the dungeon, and there's going to be a new boss and stuff in there as well. But, like, hopefully the stories actually end up helping there. And make it more interesting and engaging for everybody. Boomitzeus asks, are we ever only going to get Mage, Warrior, and Rogue classes? Every class seems to be exactly the same except for the passive and maybe one new skill, but for the most part they all just share the same skills. So Boomitzeus, that's actually a really good point. Yeah, a lot of them do have very similar skills. There are nuances to them. For instance, when you get up to those legendary pieces of gear and such, you'll notice that for Crom, it's maybe better to have the Blade, a new legendary shield that allows you to execute people when they're 25% HP when you bull rush them. As well as a bunch of ultimate damage. For Azun, it's better to have a lower cooldown so you can get your phalanx units out there more often, as well as a lot of damage reduction so that way you can continue to get rage, which allows your phalanx units to do a lot of DPS. Plus your ultimate. I mean, like, you can't go wrong with your ultimate. Malboris goes for full tank. Kreen ends up going for full DPS, and since he doesn't have anybody else to help him DPS, it's single target DPS, which is very interesting for a warrior who kind of acts like a rogue. But that nuance doesn't tend to matter, especially at easier difficulties. And one of the things we've noticed is that the easier difficulties aren't as engaging as maybe they ought to be. So that's definitely a piece of feedback we've gotten, and that I brought up with people, and we are supposed to have meetings every Thursday, where I talk about feedback that you guys give me now. Like, that's something that we've started to have happen. So hopefully we can end up having more of those engaging moments for everybody, and that brings out the real flavor of all the different classes. It is worth mentioning up, however, that when it comes to those classes, they do still have a job to do. Each class does have to do its thing within every encounter setting. Otherwise, we can't design our encounters in a way that is interesting. And so the assassin needs to do damage, the warrior needs to be able to tank, and the mage needs to be able to heal. So that's a limiting constraint, but a constraint that we think allows us to create more interesting situations for people, especially at higher difficulties. Very cool to have stories, glad to hear. Blightbound still suffers from a lot of bugs. We're trying, but we're trying to do both at once. A lot of the bigger bugs, like desyncs and stuff, Loskoff, are like to a certain degree squashed, but we do have things like the crystals right before the Writhing Oracle boss fight. That 4 crystals puzzle does bug out. Happened to me last night, unfortunately, which is really, really sad because we were on a really good roll with notoriety and having a fun time. We also do have bots coming, by the way. That's something that I know is being developed, and that should help with certain situations like somebody has to disconnect or whatever, but you get the idea. We do know that they're bugs, and we are trying our hardest to squash them. We have a team that is large enough to be able to handle that to a certain degree, but we do, like, we're not as good at catching some bugs that, like, some people find, because, like, there are just some things that we just don't think of, that the community thinks of, like, instantaneously, or that the community just creates out of nowhere. So we try our best, but there's going to, as a result of being in early access, there's going to be some moments where that just doesn't, work every time. So please bear with us. Be patient. We're trying our hardest. We went into early access and not as a full release for a good reason. The trio includes Mr. Rowe. Who is Mr. Rowe? Will we ever be able to queue up with the same class? Boomitzeus asks. As in 2 assassins, 3 assassins in a group? No. Not as of right now, and I don't think that we're going to do that. My personal opinion as to why is because, again, it defeats the encounter design that we've been going for, and the feel of the game overall. So I don't think so, to put it simply. Ardapal. I love the game, but what annoys me is that whenever you reach a certain notoriety level and someone disconnects or has to go, you have to start all over again. So, yeah, we agree. Notoriety was an elegant system at the very beginning, and it kind of worked, but it also had some serious downsides. Namely, when it came to trying to make sure that things, like to keep people playing, you end up with a situation where, yeah, like if somebody disconnects, the notoriety completely resets. Now, it does encourage people to play together for longer periods of time, but maybe not fast enough. It might be too slow of a system, almost, in my opinion. And it seems like I'm not alone. I ended up seeing whether or not other people would agree with me on the Discord, and I'll explain how that works. That system works in a minute. But yeah, the feedback I got from that seems to have been relatively positive and agreeing to me. So yeah, for sure, for sure. Oh, hey, Three Guys One Couch, how's it going? Thank you. I appreciate the blessing. I appreciate the sneeze. Genticle, are you guys ever going to add stats to gear, like +5 to power, +5 to will, etc., instead of just normal alt skill, crit, cooldown, etc. on them? That is design space that would be very interesting to look at. It's difficult to work with all the time, but I think that that's a part of design space that normally our action RPGs do work within. I don't know. That's cool. You should probably go ahead and put that in on the Discord. See if other people agree with you that would be kind of neat or not. Speaking of which, excellent. And I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 winners here because we've been kind of talking for a little while. For our first winner, I'd like to go ahead and announce that GC Batman, congratulations, you win yourself a RoboScoop. And also, Jememi, you also win yourself a RoboScoop. Congratulations, you two. If you guys have if you guys have not played Awesomenauts, I know Jememi has, but if you have not played Awesomenauts, you really, really, really should. It's an excellent game. Let's continue onwards. Let's see, other questions. Oh, cons. Congratulations to making it to Notoriety 19 after 4 hours. That was... I can't say I've had any more desyncs, but I did have soft locks, doors that wouldn't open and enemies that wouldn't die. RP, yeah. So we do know that when we got rid of the biggest desync bug, that was a big step forward, but there were definitely still some bugs around that were stopping progress from happening. Some new ones popped up in Kuliath Rising, actually. Kuliath himself would just become invulnerable and would not let you kill him at a certain point. Specifically when you were on the second phase and you slowed him, gravity welled him, something to do with his movement right before he moved on to phase 3, he just... yeah, that it would cause problems. So, we're still working on things like that. It is definitely an issue for us. A big issue. And it's something that we're working really hard to try to get rid of, those kinds of bugs, because we want this game to work. But if you've got bugs like that, it kind of kills the whole experience really quickly. So, we hear you. We hear you. Let's see. Mr. Rowe equals mage. Oh, very good. Any more questions? Elmos. If your group all have legendaries, I think the notoriety should go higher. Like, start at hard or maybe very hard, because I got notoriety 20 and didn't get the impossible dungeons. Yeah, the difficulty is definitely something that we've been tinkering with lately, but it really does feel like the difficulty of the dungeons isn't quite as engaging as it could be. So, yeah, that's something that we want to work on some more, and that we are going to have some discussions about tomorrow, hopefully. That at least that's the plan. Can't it have like a 5 to 10 minute waiting time till the notoriety disappears? So one of the reasons why notoriety disappears as quickly as it does is because we tried to actually apply a notoriety, carryover mechanic, but it came with one particularly interesting problem. The notoriety would kind of spread like a virus. And what would happen is that people would spread their notoriety to other people. And as they continued to play, their increased notoriety would spread to others. And then they'd increase the notoriety and spread that increased notoriety to others. And by the end of, like, a very short amount of time, people have communicated this notoriety bug to everyone. And everybody's working off of a notoriety so high that a person just entering the game for the first time was facing impossible level dungeons. Which was hilarious, but at the same time, probably not intended. We got rid of that as a result, and we are working. And like again, difficulty is something we're working on. Did we talk about Blood Magus? It gets annoying to face him with the amount of damage he can cast. So Big Boss Joel. Congratulations on almost hitting notoriety 20. That's fantastic. Collins mentioned as much earlier as well, and that is a pretty large achievement. It's a lot like Malkovia and his world's first refuge level 50, which is still insane to me. As far as Blood Magus has some issues. We know about several of them, including the fact he likes to turn into a whack-a-mole once in a while, and just the instant you hit him once, he goes, never mind, and he goes right back down. We don't mind that he does a lot of damage. What we do mind is that you can't deal him damage, and that his more interesting boss mechanics don't pop up as a result. Having a whack-a-mole phase in a boss fight is fine. Having an entire boss fight be whack-a-mole is not fine. So, yeah. Will you make the game for Mac sometime? Electron, it depends on demand. There are a lot of Macs that can probably very easily just partition their drive into a small Windows drive to be able to play games on Windows. What's more important for us at the moment is seeing whether or not we can get this on to other consoles and stuff like crossplay and stuff like that. Like those are the kinds of things that we're talking about behind the scenes, which is extremely exciting. Like if you are playing on PlayStation or Xbox or even on the Switch, like right now we're trying to figure out how to be able to get the game to work on those systems and then be able to play with each other. But that's stuff that we can't promise that we can do. Like that's all behind the scenes right now, and it's a lot of unknowns. But that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about right now. Whether or not it's going to happen on Mac or Linux or other stuff, right now the markets don't seem to be large enough for us right now to do it, is my guess as to why we haven't developed that way. But yeah, as it stands right now, I'm going to say we're making the game work for the Mac OS necessarily. And if you really do want to play Blightbound that badly, I highly recommend that you get a drive partition, which I believe Apple actually has a really easy to use system for that kind of thing, and then just play Blightbound off of the Windows side. I didn't get to try Impossible once. I have 20 plus hours though. Elmo's, well, I mean, congratulations. I think I've got close to 30 or so, and I still haven't played Impossible in a long time. Genticle, the notoriety system could probably be salvaged. I would agree. It's a good system, but it just, yeah. Do you know the names of the future trio, Mage, Assassin, Warrior, even if you can't say them? So I do know the names of the 2 new heroes that are popping up. So we just had Azun and Nilbus Flan pop up in the latest patch, which were a new Warrior and a new Mage. And in the next Wolfpack patch, which again will be happening in about 2 weeks or so, what their names are, we've got Karog and Wodania. The 2 of them are going to be linked through their stories. And they are going to be interesting, particularly the assassin, because she's going to have a new ability. So, yeah. No, make it tomorrow? I cannot. So it should be late August, very early September, when the patch comes out for patch 0.3. So that'll be very exciting. Now, with that said, I actually do have a little bit of story to read to you guys. So if you guys are in for that kind of ASMR situation, hey, we're about to get into it. So, as you guys might or might not know, we have stories that pop up for each one of these patches that are written by an author that they have found, that Ronimo has found, called Roderick Lewinhard. Roderick's a good dude, but more importantly, he's a pretty sweet author, and I've had the privilege of being able to like read his work and all that stuff before it comes out. So, for right now, I wanted to go ahead and just take a look at the first chunk of a story. That has Karog in it, actually. And so, I would like to go ahead and introduce you to that, if that's all right with you. Oh, we're still talking about the game. Very good. Okay, in that case, then, I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can't get this story to work. So, if you guys haven't read the first 2 chapters, you don't need to know the first 2 chapters to get to this point. But it is one of those things where every one of these stories ties into the patch that came out with it. So, Chapter 3. The Wolves of the Woodlands. Again, this is definitely one of those things where I really feel like this is a highly enjoyable thing to do for me anyways, reading stories. But yeah, just don't pay attention to my face right now. It gets awkward. So, hey, all delirious, how's it going? Let's go ahead and start with the Wolves of the Woodlands. Karog was a grown man, meditating in the glade, and he was a scrawny boy, aching to grow his muscles like the men in his tribe. His arms and legs were twigs. He was 9, and he hated how the others teased him for being the matriarch's son. Yet, here was an opportunity to prove himself. He stood unflinching in the face of the giant, white wolf, with the bloodied teeth that had stalked into the camp and bitten the throats of more than a few friends. The beast had terrorized them for weeks, savaging stragglers and playing children alike. The men were out in the woods, hoping to lure it out on this moonless night, but here it was, right in their home. Karog and the other children were the guardians of the pack right now. More than anything, he wanted to kill the wolf and earn his mother's respect and shut the others up. He wasn't a spoiled brat. He had a right to be here. "Careful, Karog," a friend whispered, not daring to get out in the open like he had, hiding behind a barrel. She wouldn't survive the night. "I can take it," he said quietly, "because I'm strong, and if I don't, he'll rip us all up." I should call the others. We have to wake them. No, it's mine. Let me try to kill it first. His voice was still squeaky and sounded nothing like a warrior. The gigantic beast that had entered their campsite noiselessly unbared its fangs. Wolf, the boy hissed. You're supposed to be our guardian deity. Why are you killing us? He received no answer. The enemy only burrowed its paws in the ground, arcing its back. Karog pointed his dagger at it. It was wooden, but hard nonetheless, and quite sharp. It would take out an eye. There are already so few of us. We can't leave this forest because the blight is everywhere. Please leave us in peace. But the wolf didn't retreat, and now the young tribesman knew it would come to blows. He'd probably get killed. What chance did a feeble child have against a monster like that, even with 11 other younglings waiting for a signal to attack? You're not gonna, right? He had to put up a brave face, if only for his friend, whom he hoped would one day be his wife, not knowing she was about to get crushed in the fight. I guessed as much. I'm far too angry at you for killing our own so greedily anyway. You should die. The boy and the wolf. Karog stared hard at the wolf, waiting for it to move, or should he be the first to attack? He only had the experience of roughhousing and hunting rabbits to rely on. He'd always been a predator, never game. He flinched, buckling under the pressure, and launched himself sideways at the wild animal. The wolf snapped at his little arms as he dove past, and their heads met. Karog felt warm fur graze his cheek. He saw the wolf's humongous yellow eye, and in that instant, he heard him speak in his head. Help! They attacked my brother! Karog was a grown man, meditating in the glade, and he was shook from his reverie by the voice of a small girl in the distance. At once he turned around, sword at the ready. The child careened over a toppled pine tree, leaving imprints of her feet across in the moss. It was a girl from the village, and she was out of her mind in panic. My brother, please! He's hurt! She opened her grubby hands and donated a strip of cloth soaked with blood. Karog probed it. Human blood, crimson as it came, and still damp. Who did it, and where is he now? Karog said, his voice much deeper than before, but still as impatient. He went to get water, but I don't know who jumped him. He's really hurt and he's bleeding. He's in the hunting tent nearby. Karog didn't waste any more time. He picked her up and collected his belongings in a hurry. With great strides, he went towards the tent, an outpost some leagues away from their camp, but near the glade. It took him a good quarter of an hour to reach, nonetheless. When he entered the tent, he was instantly struck by the stench of mortal injury that filled up any room it occupied. The girl rushed forward to take her brother's hand. He was indeed in dire straits, lying on a cot, badly injured. Please hold on, brother, she cried. Karog approached. What happened? The man, feverish, gasping for air, tried facing him, but failed. Karog stooped over instead, locking eyes with him. Ambush at the mountain pass, the brother said, his voice lilting with faintness. They just toyed with me. Let me go. Warning. Challenge. So many legs stepping on me. And he perished. Now that the brother had died, the girl traded her panic for silent sobs, burying her head in his clothes. Karog's mind caught fire. Villains had occupied the mountain pass and humiliated and killed one of his men. A cowardly ambush, while he'd been out hunting and meditating. Dum dum dum. And that's the intro story for Karog. So, as you can see, these stories are actually really, really good, and Roderick puts in a lot of work to make sure that they are, entertaining and engaging and all that good stuff. I hope that you guys enjoyed that. That said, that story continues itself when it is fully released on the Blightbound website, which you can check out. Sorry, can you read that again? I wasn't paying attention. You know what? This is going on YouTube, so don't even worry about it. But that gives you a closer look as to what Karog is like. And if you read the previous 2 chapters, you get some more depth into who everything is. And I'm going to give you a hint. One of them includes one of the bosses or two. So, it's pretty sweet. If you want to read the previous 2 chapters, you can go ahead and check it out on the website as well. And this story, once it's fully edited and reread and everything, we'll go on there. Now, it's one of those things that is interesting. Elmos, I prefer you reading it than me. We've been thinking about audiobooks and getting some of the people to actually do some professional voice acting for them. But I've also toyed with the idea of turning the Blightcast, which has not had an episode in a while because getting people to interview and to want to talk about the game that they're developing at the moment has been difficult. We've been thinking about turning the Blightcast into story time. Into another way of delivering the story to you folks. So keep an eye out on that. But hopefully that's Malboris needs to read every story. Cons, come on, man. Hopefully that ends up being an interesting thing for you. All right. With that said, I think that we've done enough news. We've done enough pokes on the updates. We've done enough teasers. We know a little bit more about Karog and what he's like. We know a little bit about who Wodania is. We know a little bit about, hey, there might be some news on the Blightcast in the very near future because, hey, if I like reading stories, then I might be able to read some more stories for everybody, which would be a lot of fun. And then put those out as podcast episodes, which I think is great, consistent content, which you folks might enjoy. For right now, though, what we're going to do is we're just going to hop in and actually play some Blightbound, because I'm kind of in the mood to play some Blightbound, and we've gone through all the news already. Where is Blightbound? There it is. I'm going to play it. And if anyone wants to play with me, I mean, just queue up. Hopefully we bump into each other. Can I join? You know what? Elmos? Sure. Why don't you join? Play Awesome Knots. That wolf, it's not a bad time, so. Not in the mood to play Fall Guys? Oh, Rocket Lawn Chair. Come on, man. That's mean. I do that on my own stream. I'm not going to plug that here right now because I'm currently on the job. Is Block Against Warrior fixed as guest? It should be. As far as everybody else has had time to like test on our end, it doesn't matter if you're the host or not. You should be able to make that work. Like, with that issue. Also, Raffle Sight's a thing. Let's go ahead and draw our next winner. Mr. Grosser, congratulations. You've won yourself a Roboscoop. Excellent. Roboscoop's an elite skin for Awesome Knots. And if you haven't played Scoop, Scoop's a good, fun character to play. Let's go ahead and play some Blightbound. Now, before we play some Blightbound, I'm not going to forget this. We're going to go ahead and start up another Raffle Sight. Boom. And look, hey, look, it's those two new heroes and a new dungeon. I wonder who's who. Hey, look, there's a white wolf there. I wonder who could that be. Have we figured it out yet? Blightbound crossed with Fall Guys. Oh, that'd be pretty funny. Last raffle, there were 2 winners. I mean, yeah, there were 2 winners. But there were 2 winners because it took forever to actually get it up and running. There should be 4 winners per stream is the general idea. That's the idea I've got in my head anyway. So yeah, I've been playing a lot. As far as developers go, I think that I've got the most advanced account out of all the developers on the team right now. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but hey, it's pretty sweet. US or EU? US in my case, if that's okay. And is there anything I can craft right yet off the top of my head that I want to? No. Taka's good to go. We got a cool Scarlet build, which is quite potent. Triss is the most powerful character in the game right now. And Mouse. I would love to get Mouse to work more. Is there anything I can do to make Mouse work better? Let's see. Titan Skinner was good. Sunrise is good. But then the 2 Pain effigies are the problem here. I'll have to think about it. I play Fall Guys till I get tipsy and then finish the night with Blightbound. Hey, Fall Guys is a good time, but we're not here about that. Just 1 raffle, not 2? There might be 2. Depends on the time. We'll see how long it takes for me to remember things. Anyway, I'm going to go and queue up as Blightbound because that's the fastest way to do things, and I like the +2 to all stats. Sounds like a great idea. It does sound like a fun idea, actually. Elmos! Hello! Welcome to the party. Let's see how far we can get along in terms of stuff. Oh, and you're playing the make everything boring guy. The good news is that I do want to go into here quickly, but, okay. You want to go in and defeat Kuliath. I want to head to Darkness's Embrace, specifically so that way I can get, Blood Rain. I don't have Blood Rain yet. I don't have my Legendary Dagger. It's what I'm trying to do. Cool, nice UI update when you scroll by the characters. That's been there for some time, Selgood, man. At least I think so. Oh, you're from EU? I'm sure the ping will be fine. If anything, I'm actually quite close to you EU folks, so. Let me know if the game's too loud. Alright, so we're still looking for Bloodslick. That's fine. I think I know where I need to go. Okay, where are some baddies? There's some baddies. I'm not here. Sweet. And then I get to pick up all the loot like a good assassin ought to. Don't worry, you guys got it. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up all the loot. It's fine. What about if we need to check for traps? Who needs traps? Slicey and dicey. Okay, I'm not gonna use my cloud right now because if I use my cloud, we're gonna be in the unenviable position where we have to effectively eventually start tanking for our poor mage who's gonna immediately draw all the aggro from being the only one not in a cloud. And slice and dice. I gotta say, this build is so much fun for that. Not using Sunrise Sunset? No. Not on this character. On Scarlet, she doesn't have Deck of Daggers and such. And so as a result, I think that it's better for me to go for a completely different build that allows me to really benefit from her abilities. Oh, Battle Call, by the way. It's really sick. Get smashed and make the dangerous. Excuse me. The main trick with my Scarlet build at the moment is to just make sure that we, oh, look at all the money. Is to just make sure that we get our ultimate charge up as quickly as possible, and then... Ultimate. Kill everything. Please play Nilbus after. I need to unlock Nilbus still. He's taking so long. I needed to play Nilbus. We're not doing that right now. What we are going to do is head downstairs, because I have not checked out these downstairs areas with Scarlet yet, and I'm pretty sure that a hint for Bloodslick or Rain Slick ought to be in here somewhere. Someplace. I need to see you play Nilbus Flan. Look, one of these days, as soon as I unlock Nilbus Flan, he's going to be my new favorite mage. Like, you equip Titan Essence on him, and then suddenly everything's... Aw, nuts. You just had to find all the bad guys, didn't you? Whomp. I'm not here. And will it blend? Yeah, it'll blend. It'll blend. Yeah, I have 33 hours in this game, and I still haven't unlocked Nilbus Flan. I like to queue as Blightbound, okay? So I don't always get to play as Azun, and I don't always get to play as Azun in the levels I want. Oh, it's this room. This stinks. I forget how this puzzle gets solved. Oh, we did it? Sweet, we did it! Don't ask questions, just be happy. Mages, man, they break that puzzle. Bro, you actually play very well? Thank you. Okay, bounce over here. Everything died. That was easy. Now I'm wondering, is this the place with the urn? I don't remember. I hope it is. Oh, my other computer. I'm back to using my phone. Oh wait, there it is. You guys can handle that.
By the Snake Titan, the remains of Talion. These runes speak
Got
of
it.
summoning. By the fall of light, the rising oracle comes. This must mean... Oh no. This oracle must have blood slick.
Alright, we've gotten past the next section of the story. Very good. Let's go ahead and speed up this, the completion of this thing. Stabby. Land him! Let her rip. Look, you want to know why Scarlet's my new favorite hero in this game? Because out of everybody in this game, she's the only one that's okay with ripping and tear. Need Nilbus with the Gorman root? Then you have the best sounds of the game? Absolutely not, and I refuse. This urn, finally? Yeah, right? Seriously, though. Like, I don't... Oh, excuse me. I'm just going to cloud here. Stabbies. Okay, we got the key already, so that's good. Whoop! Surprise! Whoop! I messed that one up. And let's blend them. Will it blend? And more important than blending is the mana orbs. Always pick up mana orbs. Man, I didn't even take that much damage. And then while I'm here, I might as well go ahead and quickly fart and break all the boxes. Excellent. You picked up garbage! Yeah! Stabbies. Oh, it's Hansel Clock. I hate Hansel Clock. Okay, he needs to die now. Excellent. He's been killed. Now I just gotta wait this stupid orb out. Bye! Plus she calls everyone darling. I love that! So, what's the resource under your HP bar as an assassin? So those are combo points. Every time that I left-click somebody... Oh, return back to the beginning. Every time that I left-click somebody, I add a point to that, and that includes barrels and stuff. So that's worth mentioning. Whoop! Okay, see, I meant to put that on my mage, so that way he wouldn't gather aggro. I think that worked. Stabbies. Back to the beginning, folks. I found what I needed. Combo Pog, pretty much. I'm a Scream Man and I love Scarlet's Remote Blade. If you like it on Scarlet, you should really try it on Mouse. Mouse makes that thing sing. Every left click you put out increases the damage by enough that at a certain point you put out the chakram, it does 200% increased damage. So good. Alright, where's Mage time? Whoop. Cool. So I Smoke Cloud the Mage, which meant that no aggro was supposed to go on Kojuk. Stabbies. Stabbies. Cool, we got our ultimate again. Oh, would you like to die, Agile Adam? Yes, you would. Stabbies. Okay, Queen Beam is a problem. If I get too close, she's one of the very few things that scares me in this game. And then I got blasted around like a... Oh no! The Aetherite Crystal got stuck in there! Dang it! We can do this. So these two here are going to be a piece of cake, but we just got to be careful. We can't be the ones closest. Okay, perfect. Wow! I'm not here. I'm not here. Time to stab. Ultimate. And done. Look. Playing as an assassin does not have to be difficult, but it can be a lot of fun. And we actually got a little bit further along in our story, so that's good.
Don't worry about a reward. There's a kiss in it for everyone who helps me get the knife.
Scarlet, come on, lady. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it, lady. I was running around Mouse last night with 2 greater monster rings and kept healing really fast with lifesteal. Yeah! 60% lifesteal when you're doing that much damage is insanity. Alright, okay. Where are we story-wise? Chapter 4? So we need Chapter 5. That means that we have to kill the Writhing Oracle now. Okay, cool. Let's make it happen. Turns out that Blood Slick plus Rain Slick crafts into Herpes? Genticle, come on! I was starting to read that and going, yeah, this ought to be interesting, this ought to be cool. And then you're like... It doesn't matter what levels we do. We'll get notoriety anyway. Oh, jeez. Here, actually, while I'm here, I might as well change over the stream info so that way it's actually more accurate. We are now playing Blightbound.
Blood Slick is mine.
Cool. Lots of loot on the ground. Nobody cares. That warrior summons 2 mini warriors. Azuna is great.
I've been questing after this knife for so long. What will I do once I get it? Oh, what am I saying? We're not there yet. Whoever killed the Aetherite General might be inclined to use us as toothpicks as well.
If the Writhing Oracle turns people into toothpicks, that'd be a very odd thing to do, I think. You know, that was very dumb. I missed what seems like on purpose there. Oh, look at that! We found everything. Boop! Time to die, Worm Whisper. There's a man orb! No! Oh, good work. Nicely done. Okay, let's get a move on. Speedrun strats. I'm not here. Get stabbed. Where are the mage refugees? I can't find any. So, what that quest in particular is talking about is very specifically the extra mage heroes. You can complete Chorus's story now. You just need to find Nilbus Flan. Once you find Nilbus, you're good to go. Elmo, I really hope you have Turgron's vision, because otherwise this is going to be real stuffy. But yeah, you need to find Nilbus Flan to be able to finish off that quest. So how does one commune with the wolf that is not fast? Zala, if you want to commune with me very specifically, all you have to do is hang out on my streams, Or hang out here for a little bit. Or find me on the Discord. Oh, by the way. Oh, that is so good to see those numbers. I love seeing those numbers. That makes me happy. That makes me a happy dude. Have harder levels say gain 2 notoriety upon completion. That would actually be pretty cool, that completing harder difficulty levels does end up giving you more notoriety. That'd be sick, actually. Get interrupted for nearly 8,000 damage. This is the first time I have not been close to that writhing orb in some time. Follow me. Thank you, Elmo. I appreciate that. I took a little bit of damage, though. I need Nilbus. Yes, you do need Nilbus. It'll be easier to finish off Chorus's story later on down the line. I'm not here. Nope. That was easy. If you're ever the assassin, specifically Scarlet, and you're about to see those writhing orbs spawn, Cloud. They'll go after anybody else because you don't have aggro. You don't exist as far as the characters are concerned. Alright, will it blend? Yes, yes it will blend. That's the entire point of this build is, can you blend them? Yes, perfect. Any thoughts on changing how notoriety works? Lots of them. Lots and lots and lots of them. We're going to be talking about that kind of stuff tomorrow in a meeting. So, yeah, it's going to happen. Hopefully. I love the streams. We learn so much and we have fun. Big Boss, I'm glad. The idea behind these streams is to have those communication moments where everybody can learn a little bit and then teach others, hopefully, that don't show up for the streams. Stabbies. I'm not here. Get interrupted. Mana orbs. Always pick up mana orbs. If you don't pick up mana orbs, you're a monster. Stabbies. 6,000 damage. Will it blend? The answer's yes. It's always yes. To will it blend? I'm not here. The one thing with this build, though, is that positioning for the rest of the fights that you do is absolutely key. If you aren't backstabbing people properly, this build does not work. And for our fourth winner, draw an entrant. Congratulations, Quintrix. 2,000. You have won a copy of Blightbound and a Robo-Scoop. So if you decide to play some Awesome Nuts, you get to play as the world's coolest ice cream sandwich. I would love it if the bounty board had actual bounties. Yeah, you and me both, Zal. It's a really good idea. Could you put that up on the feedback thing in Discord? By the way, I should explain how that works. We installed a new bot on the Ronimo Discord, discord.gg/Ronimo. If you go to the right channels and you put in feedback and bugs, there's actually a voting system. You'll see like a reaction pop up underneath somebody that goes !feedback and then the feedback. We want people to use this in order to give us feedback that we can kind of track that little bit better. And that kind of that's how we know whether or not feedback is widespread or not, or whether it's just somebody's fever dream. Not saying that everybody here has fever dreams, but I am saying that, you know, it does make it a little bit easier. Somebody's got Corpse Heal. Will it blend? Will it blend? Yes, it will, because I'm Scarlet. Why am I singing a parody of this song? Frozen was a movie like 5 to 6 years ago. Here I blend at the blend of blend. Will it blend? My alt never cared about you anyway. This is a bit of an exploit with the Crest on a spot today. People tank him exactly when he enters. Oh! I mean, that's pretty cool, I guess. What do you mean an Awesome Knots? I tended to main a lot of Ix recently. I like Ix a lot. He's flexible, interesting, has a really cool moveset with being able to teleport and create invulnerability frames out of nowhere. My best characters, that's a little bit of a tougher sell. Your singing is as horrible as mine? Thank you, Enjoy Luck. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I'm late. Hi. When do we get the rewards? At the end of the stream. And if we can even get close to... Oh, just stay on that side, monster. Uh-oh. Oh, no! I did not dodge roll where I wanted to. If someone could lend me some assistance, please. Oh, God. Got a heal? Thank you. Nope, run, 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 run. Turn the bell into mulch. Okay, and let's not make that mistake again, shall we? Oh, dang it! That was a bad time to use the ultimate. That's on me. Okay, stay away from the red lines. Stay away from the red lines. Blood Slick is on the line here. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Okay, we are being chased by that orb there. Keep dodging. Okay, my job is going to be go after these beamers and kill them as fast as I can, really. And if I don't, someone else has to. Stabbed. Perfect. Saw blades. Anyone? Get roasted. I actually had to concentrate for a minute there. I'm quite pleased with how that worked. Thank you for letting us out. I'm getting Necrodancer with the Bell boss fight. It's pretty sweet. I assume you wrote on the Discord to get feedback somewhere? I did. But just in case, if you want to if you agree with feedback that somebody posts using that and has that little blue triangle updoot button, hit that updoot button. Once there are enough updoots on it, it like lets us know that it's a really popular one. Story completed, Scarlet. Yes. Which means I should have Blood Slick, which I do. Claimable bounties, cute. I've killed enough Writhing Oracles now. That's great. Alright, if I could just create Blood Rain. Nice. Okay, now Blood Rain changes the build entirely. The 100% critical damage isn't great. But now I'm going for critical hit damage, which changes things. You know, we gotta at least try one run as Scarlet here. We gotta try one run as Scarlet. And then we'll go. Let's do Laser Town. Oh, fine. Let's do the boss. Let's get Azun. I slept in, Wolf. That's fine. Yeah, it's a constraint. Yeah, it'd be cool if we could start our difficulty from earlier, from a cooler part. Whoa! Is that just me, or is that doing, like, double damage, effectively? Like, attacking from the front is actually more damage. That changes positioning entirely. Hats and raffle timer for entertainment value? Next time. Next time. When I actually have to start teasing things and being hyped, then we're putting the hats back on. Desert Mouse works just fine. She's just very powerful. I'm trying to position myself exactly. Trying to position myself exactly so that way every time that I hit from the front, I also hit from the back with backstab damage, effectively giving me double damage. That's my current thinking right now. Raffle timer? I think they were done. Bye, Soulwolf. I have a enchant. I have a group to go to. Alright, take it easy, Wolf. Yeah, I think that Blood Rain does completely change how you're supposed to play this character now. No, it's not. I missed my only exposure to Blightbound. That's not true. You did not. That explains why she was rocking my stream from start to finish. Yeah, no, like, Mouse just does damage. That's her main thing. She has no escape mechanisms outside of death from above and dodge rolling, but, like, she doesn't have Cloud. She doesn't have lifesteal. She is pure squish and anger and damage. She's meant to do damage. Let her do damage and be happy about it. And now I'm not here. It's the lazy assassin dagger. No need to worry about position as much. That's true. But I'm thinking that if I build Scarlet with, like, lifesteal or something, so that way she can hang out right in front of people, and just stab them to death with, like, double damage, effectively, that would be awesome. Death from above is good for dodging, so it's fine. I mean, yes and no. It's meant to be a finishing ability, right? Like, you're not meant to just end the world with it, so. But I'm glad that Blood Rain does something. That's neat. There are supposed to be more stories that when you finish them, you get items that are, like, really, really cool and interesting for them, so. Auto does more. Nice. Thank you, Kreen. It's a lot of loot. I appreciate it. Look, this Humongor, if we position ourselves properly, is just going to go down real easy. It's going to be fun. The little shadows pop up even when it's... That's awesome. The thing about Blood Rain is that you can be in the danger zone when you're face-to-face with some enemies. Oh, hugely in the danger zone. That's why you use Cloud to keep yourself safe. But more importantly, Lifesteal then becomes a really good upgrade to get. And if I'm good about it, which I'm trying to be, I'm trying to position myself in a way where I'm, like, below them, but still in front of them, so that way I can have the thing come from behind. Yeah, Cloud is dangerous when it's stacking on a tank, 100%. Which is why you stack it here instead. Thank you. Oh, dang it. That thing just spawned through. Alright, will it blend? I mean, yes, it will. I'm not sure if what I'm doing actually works, though, to be fair. I was able to take some hits, not all, running double greater monster ring. Oh, that would work. Double greater monster ring would actually be really, really sick.
Ready to slice.
That would be sick, actually. Nice use of blade. Nice use of blade. Will it blend? Obviously. Mind you, it's not as powerful as it used to be, so that's the thing worth keeping in mind here. Cool. Now it's time for the blood mags. Run, 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 run. Go to the other side. Dang it. You guys got him. Yay! That was Kreen's other thing. I just realized Blood Magus to Cat is one of his story beats. Nicely done. We handled them. You know, guys, I suspect that whenever Slow Wolf asks if it will blend, he already knows the answer. It's all a scam. A scam wolf. It's possible. Pro tip, by the way, if you're in the second Blood Ridge level and you're surrounded by those in that one situation where you have to get like the 6 platforms all like, you know, hit. If you're in that situation where you have to get all the 6 platforms kind of hit up, get your ultimate ready as the assassin, and while you're pulling into a group full of those zombies, just use your ultimate before you grab the thing and then just walk into them. They'll just all keyhole over it. Sweet. The moving block did not blend. This is true. This is true. We need to keep that in mind. I could argue that lifesteal is overpowered on Assassin. Correctly so, you might add. Especially on Triss, who can effectively become a god. Last night, there were moments where Yomocho was going down and coming back up, one of my friends. Was dying and living, like, 11 times. It was really funny. Please tell your secrets on how to kill the Blood Magus on very hard and impossible. Carefully. He needs some tweaks, though. He does whack-a-mole way too often. Triss is bugs, thanks to her passive, not lifesteal. Agreed. Owie. Uh-oh. There goes Elmo. He lived, just barely. Dang it! Let's go. The music here is actually dope. It's just a shame I can't hear it. Dang it. Right during the DPS phase, no less. Phase 3, let's go! I told you that we solved this problem a little bit. Damn it, talk holder. Oh, get shredded! Oh, that was fun. Poor Kuliath. He needs a rework. They should rework the new mage. He is so bad. No, he's great! Maybe in my head, but I felt like he played whack-a-mole with my team a little bit too long last night. It was a thing of nightmares. Oh yeah, 100%. They're going about the new mage. What we need to do is actually restructure a lot of the abilities. So that's not going to be an issue. We were definitely talking about that. It is known, okay? That's a known issue. What do you think of the game's success so far? I mean, it's definitely good. So the game itself is good. I'm quite happy with how the game looks. Thank you, Elmo, by the way, for the game. So that was fun. And for helping me complete Scarlet's story. I don't need to worry about Blood Rain anymore. I've got one. I've got one. But, like, the game itself, it had some pretty big bugs right at the beginning. And that meant that a lot of the bigger streamers that played it came across that big bug. And that caused some serious issues. So we're hoping that as we start developing the game and continue to develop it, that we'll continue to keep a steady player base, going up and up. And then importantly, when we release the game fully out of early access, the game is perfectly polished. That's the dream. So, I think Nilbus is fine, just nerf Titan Essence. We can talk about all that on discord.gg/Ronimo. You want to go ahead and ask for your feedback or see your bug reports become famous e-personality moments, just go to discord.gg/Ronimo and you'll be able to let us know how you feel about our game. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you folks enjoyed yourselves. If you did, be sure to let me know. If you missed what happened on the stream, we had a lot of community news. The Crates campaign for the Awesomenauts double vinyl was successful. People that have backed it will have access to it hopefully in the next 2 to 3 months. And in addition, since those things have gone into production, we also got 100 extra copies. Not us personally, but between Sonic Picnic and Ronimo Games, which means that we actually have some more that we might be able to sell later on down the line. So if you're still interested in that kind of music and the entirety of the Awesomenauts digital soundtrack as well, hey, sweet, we got that covered. Secondly, we got an Awesomenauts art contest that's still ongoing and is going well. Check that out if you're a bit of a drawer. If you're off for Awesomenauts as a competitive thing, the 90 Knots tournament is still going on. Finally, we got Wolfpack. News is starting to come in. We know that there are 2 new characters. We know that Karog is impulsive and impatient, and that he has to face a big white wolf that apparently, talked in his head. We also have a variety of, a new level that's going to be coming out. It's going to be Dungeon 2. So, Lasertown version 2.0. What happens after the elevator drop? Then, we also learned that this will be happening at the late stage of August or the early stage of September for patch 0.3, the Wolf Pack. And we're very much looking forward to getting that out to you guys. But in the meantime, sit tight, stay close to the ground, start continuing to sniff on trails, because I'll be trying to put out hints and bits of pieces of information as the weeks go on. We'll be doing this on our Twitter, which is @Ronimo Games. If you want to go ahead and check that out as well, there'll be news there. We also post on Facebook, so go ahead and check that out too. Thank you everybody so much for watching. This will be available on YouTube if you missed the majority of it as of tomorrow at around noon or so. Where we cut out the little beginning part where we just sit there and would listen to music, and we cut out all this nonsense at the end. Thanks again for watching. I hope you folks enjoyed yourselves. This was a blast for me, and it was a nice relaxing kind of time. If you want a prize today, hey, stick around on Twitch. You'll have a key pop up in your Twitch messages shortly. Thank you one more time, and you guys have an excellent rest of your day. Stay healthy and stay safe.
Finish it up with 8 his heart is pumping in his throat. Biceps and triceps in the overload. Only protein, no wheat, no oat. There's not as always in the fighting mode.